What's up, everyone? Gary here again with another video for Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2020. Today we're going to take a look at my favorite feature in the game, the college draft. So the first thing you want to do to make sure you have a successful draft is prior to the season starting, before you play any games, you want to go to the scout draft option down here. This is going to give you the opportunity to use your staff's scouting points to send staff members all over the country or around the world to scout players. Doing this will give you some scouting information on each player, and it will once in a while give you an email on them, giving you some inside information about a player that that might look good, that they kind of uncovered while they were scouting. You have to make sure you do this before the season starts. You can see right here, once you start the regular season, you can't change where these scouts are going. So before you start playing games every season, make sure you come to this screen, set up these points, and make sure you're getting your scouting done during the year. So before we can go to the draft, we have to work out players. One thing I like to do is go to the league media screen, and there is a draft guide if you click magazines, and we can view the rookie guide. Now we're controlling Sacramento right now, and we have the 7th pick in the draft. So it shows us a quick mock draft, and we'll scroll down, and it says that we should be looking at Jason Day, a 20-year-old power forward from Seton Hall. It gives you a little bit of information. We can click on his name and bring up a scouting report. We haven't done any interviews yet or worked out any players, so we don't have this information, but we will. We're going to close this, and we're going to go to that workout screen. We're just going to make sure that we go to our options and make sure that we're in control of everything here. So we're going to go to the workout screen. This lets us invite 18 players for pre-draft workouts and interviews. The screen also lets us set up a draft board where we can set up to 50 players and organize that. Let's look at our invites first. You can see we have the mock draft over here, which said we were going to take Jason Day. Here's all the players available in the draft, and you can click on their names and bring up their player cards too, and kind of cycle through guys if you want. You can also click here and get their combine results and switch back to the college stats. Just for the sake of time, we're just going to sort guys by points per game, and those are who we're going to bring in. We're a pretty bad team, and we just need some guys who can score. So we're going to bring all these guys in for workouts. All you do is highlight and click workout, and you can see a check mark comes up once you've worked them out. And let's grab Jason Day too, since they say that's who we should take. We also have a draft board here that when we click players, we can add them to the draft board, and this will help you get organized for your draft. And we're just going to add these guys here, and this lets us have a draft list. If you want to change players on the list, you can just click and click. You can also roll over the help that tells you how to do it. If you add somebody, to the draft board that you decide, oh, I don't want that guy anymore, you can just double click him and he'll come off of your draft board list. So we won't go through this in full, but we've got an idea of how it works now. So we're going to run the workouts, and we're going to get ready for the draft. It'll just take a second while all the teams are running their workouts and preparing. And now, as you can see, we're ready for the college draft. We only have 6 players on our roster right now, or 5 players, and we were 27 and 55, so we need a lot of help. Let's start the draft. Okay, so if you've watched any of our prior videos, you know that we introduced some cutscenes into the game this year, and that was one of them, and that was absolutely one of my most favorite new things that I've done this year with the game. It really, really puts you in the mood and gets you ready for the draft. If you want, you can always hit escape on those screens and skip them. You can also, if you look at that menu that I pulled up earlier to go to the options, there's a sound on and off option. If you turn the sound off, it won't even go there for anybody who doesn't want to see those scenes during the game. But now we're here at the draft, and the draft is by far the best draft experience of any sports game. It doesn't matter console, PC, big guys, small guys. This is the best draft you're going to find in any game period. As you can see, we've got the stage here. We've got our commentators at the desk. We've got a ticker down here. We're going to start the draft up so you can see what's going on. We've got the countdown going for the teams. The people at the desk will have conversations back and forth during the draft about the selection that was made, the next pick to be made. You've got the ticker going on the bottom. You've got all kinds of information: who's in their current lineup, the best players available, who they selected earlier that night. It's really there's so much to do and look at and see here. It provides you an unbelievable experience. So what we're going to do here is we're going to let the computer, you can click this button here and make a selection, make the computer make their selection if you don't want to wait the whole 5 minutes. As you can see, when you make the pick, the commissioner comes to the podium and announces the pick, and it's Thornton Bennett from Kentucky. You can see his strengths, his weaknesses, his stats down here at the bottom of the screen. And after the pick here, the guys at the desk will start talking about what they think of the pick, and also what they think the New York Metros will do with their pick. Let's skip ahead. We're the 7th pick, so let's skip ahead to our pick so we can show you a little bit else of what goes on here. Now that it's our pick, we're going to open the war room. You can also offer trades here, but we don't want to trade this pick. We want to make the pick. We need some help. So if you look here, players in orange are players that your staff members are suggesting that you take. So the Wolverine Studio Sports Network says Brad Wheeler is a 3-star player. Our staff says he could be a 5-star. He could be a stud. They think the same thing about Jason Day. Looks like Frank Sullivan's pretty well ranked by everybody. Let's click on a couple of these guys. You pull up, you can click their player detail, and you'll see the card with the scouting report, scouted ratings. We get these by interviewing the players and scouting them over the course of the season. So if you don't send out those scouts on that first screen, you're not going to get this information about his floor range, his ball actions. You won't learn how the players play because your scouts didn't watch them. So we can see that he's pretty well balanced. 45% time mid-range, 32% above the break. A for scoring, A for handling, B for defense. This guy looks pretty solid. Let's go back and take a look at Jason Day. He's going to spend about 2/3 of his time above the break, so he's going to be a power forward that wants to stand outside all day. Not real good scouted ratings. He might have a lot of potential, but in the position we're in, we need as much help as we can get. We can also go back and look at the mock draft and see how that was turning out. Brad Wheeler, they said, would go 12th, but he looks pretty good to me. Let's check out Frank Sullivan too while we're here. Now, we didn't interview Frank Sullivan, so we don't know this information. We don't really have much on him, because it says we don't know about much. We didn't bring him in for an interview. So it's important to interview the guys that you think might fall to you or that you might be interested in. And with only 18 spots, you have to think about your second round picks as well. So you can't just interview the top 18 players. But I think we're going to go with Brad Wheeler. You click on a player, it'll say do you want to select? So we're going to select Brad Wheeler, and our pick is in. And let's see what they think of the pick. At almost 28 points per game, though, in college for a smaller school, but you know, hopefully he can bring some excitement to our team that was not very good. So let's see what the experts have to think while Brooklyn prepares to make their pick. So you know, there's so much more you can do. If you want to click, you can offer trades during the draft. You know, if we wanted to try to get, you know, Brooklyn's pick, you come down here and, you know, you click this button to add it, you know, to the trade. These blocks here mean that, you know, these players are on the trading block. So, you know, teams might be looking to get rid of them. Brooklyn is not a very good team either. They have a nice 5-star player here that is 29, so, you know, big contract. They're looking to dump him and start rebuilding. There's also help up here if you need information on how to make the trades and stuff like that. So that is all for today. We hope that you're as excited about getting your hands on this game as we are to get it to you. It'll be very soon now, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Leave any comments below about the draft or anything else that you want to see in these videos, and we'll talk to you soon.